Right, metalheads, this is DJ REM from Metal Devastation Radio, and I have October Rage on the line. How you doing today, brother?
Mate, how are you? I'm doing great, dude. How are you?
Very well, very well. Why don't you start by introducing yourself and your spot in the band, and then the other members of the band that aren't with us today?
Yeah, well, that's the easy part. If I can remember my own name, it's Nick, and I am the singer in October Rage, and I also play guitar. We've also got Will, who plays bass. He's also my brother. And we've got Kai Chambers and John McMullen, which are both, I guess you could say, the newest recruits of the band. Kai's on drums, and you've got John on guitar and the keyboard.
Okay, very cool. And how long has October Rage been together as a band?
Let me see. Will and I formed the band in 2008. And we've had a couple of members come and go since then, but now that we've got a new lineup, these new guys have been with us for about a year and a half, so yeah, I guess you could say the band's been together about years now and still going strong.
Okay, very cool. And why don't you tell everybody what you guys are up to right now, because I know you're out on tour.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing our national US run right now with a couple of other bands we're teaming up with. One of them being Overflex and the other one Royal Bliss. And we're currently in the middle of Iowa right now, going to a show in Waterloo tonight. And then, yeah, we're headed up to Wisconsin after that. And we're going to be doing a whole bunch of Midwest stuff. Then traveling down to Texas, doing a whole bunch of stuff down there. And then actually, then we come back to the Midwest and go west towards kind of Utah area, so pretty much all over the place.
Very cool. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck on the rest of the tour for sure.
Thanks.
And that's a killer lineup you're with. I've actually never talked to the guys from Boboflex, but I have actually interviewed Royal Bliss a couple years ago, so very cool.
Yeah, they're amazing guys, mate. I couldn't have imagined a better bunch of dudes to tour with. We're just like one big family. It's great. Everyone's been awesome. Everyone's been team players. It's just we're having a blast.
Very cool. Before I forget, I do want to give Dave Tedder a big shout out for hooking up the interview and putting us in touch with each other. So big props to him.
Yeah, thank you, Dave, my publicist.
Yeah, he rocks.
He's a very cool guy.
Yeah, he is. He's very cool.
Definitely.
So you mentioned how long the band's been together. What kind of was the creative spark that got this band going? You know, what made you decide to do this?
That's a good question. I don't think it was ever really one thing. I mean, we first started out doing like a bunch of kind of punk covers when I first learned guitar back in high school. And I realized that I kind of really liked it, and then we kind of did this, like, formed a couple of little bands here and there, and after that, I kind of got into songwriting and realized that I really loved it, and probably enough to take it very seriously. So as soon as that sort of started happening, I started getting into it more and more, and then eventually we made October Rage with the sole purpose of just, let's just see how far we can get this thing to grow, and of course it's growing well beyond what we thought initially might have happened. So yeah, we're pretty happy about it, mate.
Very good. And then, so you guys are on the road right now, but when you're not on the road, how often do you guys practice and work on your music?
We pretty much never stop. If we're not on the road, we'll be recording, or we'll be writing new material, or just jamming something out. Yeah, we pretty much do this whole thing full time, and I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of those big kind of holiday guys, you know. I kind of just like to keep going. I guess you could call me a workaholic, but there it is. We're all really hungry. We all want the same thing, so you know, it's a good work ethic with this band, definitely.
Well, you know better than I do that in this business, if you don't work hard, you're not going to accomplish anything. So
exactly, it's tough. It's tough. You got to really work at it.
So, in regards to the this is an EP you have out, right?
Yeah, the newest record, kind of like the next 5 newest songs that we're going to be putting out on for the next release. So I guess this is kind of like a teaser for album number 2. But yeah, I mean, you know, we people wanted something, so we were like, okay, well, we got to give them something. So Fallout Dust and Guns was just, you know, perfect timing.
Right.
Just before this big tour. So yeah, I mean, it was great. You know, the whole process of recording it, releasing it, we've had so much good feedback, and you know, fans are happy. You know, if my fans are happy, I'm a happy man. So.
Right, and I was sitting here listening to it, waiting for you to call, and it really rocks. It's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad at all. I'm very happy with how it turned out, man. Especially some of those songs are great to play live. You know, you've got songs like Valkyrie on there, which is just a headbanger of a track. Yeah, I mean, it's just I couldn't have imagined it turning out better.
And I have to ask, because I'm always, one of the first things that while I'm listening to new music a band sends me, I'm always looking for the cover art that gets sent with the album, and I'm so sitting here looking at it right now. Who designed that for you? It's really cool.
It's actually a guy from Germany, and basically this guy has actually done our previous artwork for when we had our White Walkers single out, and this guy's just phenomenal. I mean, we found him online, and that picture is actually my dad. That he took a picture of my dad and then made the artwork based off that. Funnily enough. Yeah, it's I'm happy with the artwork too, mate. That's the kind of style that we like, and you know, that's the kind of thing that, you know, you'd see on a shirt pretty soon. So
that's awesome. That's awesome that it's your dad, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Does your dad really have the long hair and the long beard too?
He does. Yeah, he does.
Wow.
My dad kind of looks like a bit of a Viking cross biker or something. I don't know.
Very cool. Props to Dad.
Yeah.
For sure. So, what got you into music? What kind of influences have you had in your life that made you want to do something like this?
That's a really good question. I think I remember back from being a kid listening to a lot of the orchestral soundtracks in movies and stuff like Braveheart or Gladiator or something like that, and getting really into it. And I started listening to a lot of classical music and started actually playing classical piano when I first started. I guess the whole rock and guitar thing came about in high school when we used to play in this in music class in school. There was only one piano, and everyone was always on it. And I was just like, kept waiting for my turn. And while I was waiting for my turn, all my buddies would be playing guitars, teaching each other songs and stuff. So I just thought, well, I got to jump in on this because I got nothing else to do. And I discovered that I really, really liked it. You know, my mates would just start teaching me all these like Metallica songs and these Led Zeppelin riffs, and I was like, all right, I'm really into it now. From then on, you know, I couldn't get enough. It's like it became an addiction and it's never stopped.
Very cool. So, did you have any musical talent in your family that kind of helped guide you this way as well, or did you kind of just find it on your own?
Well, no, I didn't really have a mentor of the family, I guess you could say. I mean, I do know that my granddad used to play piano quite well back in the day, but you know, he lives kind of a bit far away from where I live, so you know, we didn't really get to see him that often. Didn't really get any kind of lessons or anything from him. You know, Mum and Dad aren't too musical. I mean, Dad listens to a lot of great music. He pretty much force-fed me Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and all these other great bands when I was growing up, and to that I give him props. But yeah, I guess I just kind of, you know, had a knack for it. I was lucky enough to sort of pick up a lot of things really easy.
Hey, very cool. So, how did you guys come up with the name of the band? Where does October Rage come from?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess what happened was Will and I had like a band way back a few years ago, and we were like, you know, we'd walked away from that band and wanted to start something new, and we were getting kind of frustrated that we couldn't get the ball rolling off the ground. And it was in the middle of October in 2008, and when we said, it's like we've got a bit of October Rage going on right now, like, hey, wait, that kind of sounds cool. And because it sounds so cool, I guess that's why we kept it.
Nice. So where can people go to find out more about October Rage? What social networking and websites do you guys use?
Pretty much most. So like you've got OctoberRage.com is where it's all at with all our updates, tour schedules, all that kind of stuff. But we talk to everyone on Facebook a lot and Twitter, obviously. Posting a lot of goofy shit on Instagram. Yeah, it's all out there. Everything's on iTunes and all the rest of those, all the bells and whistles.
Okay, what about like merchandise and stuff? You guys have that for sale as well somewhere?
Yeah, that's all on our website too. It's all on OctoberRage.com, and there's got a whole bunch of new stuff coming out really, really soon. It's going to look fantastic. So, I'm actually looking forward to that. We've got some really great designs on the way, so pretty excited.
Nice, and I'm assuming you also are selling everything at your shows as well.
Correct, yeah, yep. Definitely.
Okay. So, what are your goals for the band? You're on this big tour, things are going well. How do you hope to keep taking this? What kind of direction?
Well, hopefully up. Really, we just love this lifestyle, love touring, and the kind of goal is to get it to a point where we don't really stop. If we're always on the road, then we're kind of one of those bands that as long as we're moving, we're happy. Or as long as we're writing something that we're happy. What we really would like to do is, wind up one day eventually doing, the big stadium, headline tours, kind of like what Bon Jovi is doing right now. But we've got to work up to that, so that'll happen eventually, though.
So I was actually, it's funny that you mentioned Bon Jovi. So I was reading about you guys earlier and about that you actually supported Bon Jovi in Australia, correct?
That's right, yeah.
So I'm assuming that was amazing? Sorry. I'm assuming that was amazing?
Oh, definitely, beyond any doubt. They were really cool. We did get to meet the band, which is apparently pretty rare. And they were really, really nice guys. They're really down to earth, very humble. You'd expect the band that size to have kind of like a big ego thing going on, but nah, not the case. They were just, really, really helpful. The crew was amazing. And man, I don't have anything. I don't have anything bad to say about them. We just had a blast. It was one of those times that you'll remember, no matter whatever happens in the future. You'll remember that for the rest of your life.
Right. No matter whatever happens, you'll be able to say, "Yeah, we played with Bon Jovi."
That's it.
Right. Exactly. Well, what was the biggest crowd you played with them too?
Oh, there was about 15,000 people there each show every night. So. It's big. He did all the big stadiums in Australia, so we were very lucky to be a part of it. And man, I tell you, the noise that you can get the crowd for that many people to make is just insane. The stage rumbles. It's just a terrific feeling.
Nice, very cool. And I'm assuming that must have helped gain a good following for you guys too. I'd hope. Definitely,
and it hooked us up with a whole bunch of people over here in America that, basically helped bring us out here, and now here we are, touring in the USA, having a blast in the time of our life.
Nice. Do you guys have any plans to go over to Europe?
Yes. We don't know when yet, but it is going to happen. We're actually talking to a few people about that right now, but for now we're just going to focus on our US tour and make sure that all goes well. Going to be heading back to Australia for Christmas. And do a little stint there because we've got, obviously got to see some of the fans back in the homeland, and then after that, back up over here, back in the USA, and doing it full ball again. So
nice, very good. Well, again, I wish you the best of luck with all of that.
Dude, thank you so much.
So let's go back to the album Fallout Guns and Dust. Where did you guys record that at? What studio did you use?
That was actually a studio in Melbourne called the Song Store with Adrian Hannon, who's our producer, and he's an amazing guy. And we actually got the songs mastered in a place in Georgia, believe it or not, with Stan Martell from Martell Studios. So it's had a few different people worked on it, but for the most part, I mean, I'm very happy with the production and how it's all turned out, and I'm really stoked.
Very good. And how long did the process take for you guys from when you started writing the tracks to actually getting into the studio?
Well, we were actually writing the songs for quite a while, and once we sort of had everything sort of hashed out, we kind of had to pick our most, our favourite songs, and then once we kind of got the ball rolling, we kind of booked in the studio and started recording. And the recording process actually didn't take too long. But there's a lot of post-production. You got to wait for mixes to come back and all that sort of stuff. So that took a little while, but better late than never.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So if I grabbed your iPod or MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
Well, you'll find two separate things. You'll find stuff that from like kind of older school stuff like Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple or stuff like that, where the stuff that my dad used to make me listen to. Well, not make me listen to. I mean, he introduced me to it. Even back some Alan Parsons Project or something weird like that. And then you've got a playlist which is like full of new bands now, or bands that are still, alive and touring and doing a lot, like kind of like Metallica or Volbeat or, maybe some Steel Panther or something like that. So yeah, it's I've got a bit of array of a mix of rock music, but I still listen to the old classical stuff every once in a while too.
Very cool. I love Steel Panther. I'm not gonna lie, I love those guys.
They're funny guys, man. They're funny guys. I tell you, we did one show with them in California, the House of Blues in Hollywood, and they just ripped it up. I tell you, it was amazing.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll go on YouTube and look for some of their different live shows and stuff, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I love it.
They had a lot of sort of like a comedy act. They actually didn't play as many songs as I thought they would. They actually just talked, and the talking is just as entertaining as their live show.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so when I guess you kind of already answered this question. Is when you're not practicing, when you're not on tour, is there anything you like to do to relax, unwind? I mean, do you have any crazy hobbies or anything you like to do?
Yeah, it's going to sound weird, but I actually trade foreign currency markets in my spare time. It's kind of weird. Like I have a broker back home, and I just love that whole kind of financial aspect of things. For some reason, looking at the charts and looking at all the software, it's kind of cool. And then I guess there's the other side of things where I used to play a lot of games when I was on the road, like PC games. And that was kind of fun. I've always been into that. Kind of still am. Don't have much time for now that I'm on the road, but every time I get a chance to unwind, I'll go online and maybe play some weird kind of nerdy game. I don't know. Depends on my mood.
Very cool. Well, I'm also nerdy and into gaming too, so it's good.
Good on you. Yeah, it's fun.
Exactly. So, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show you've done? And it doesn't have to be bad. It can be a good thing.
Okay, crazy, good or bad? That's a good question. I've actually fallen off the stage and hit my head on a concrete floor once.
Ouch.
That was a couple of years ago when we were with Saliva, and we were playing, I actually can't remember because I had a concussion after it. I'm not sure where, but it was actually, we just finished the show. It was an amazing show, and I was going to walk off the stage, and there's this little dark area, and I thought the steps were, in a certain place, and obviously I was mistaken. And I took a big tumble all the way to the floor, and I had my guitar still in my hands, so I didn't have my hands out in front of me to stop me or anything like that. So I hit the deck and pretty much just hit my feet, and then I fell onto my head straight after that, and I was out of it for a couple of days after that. So that was kind of fun.
Did the guitar come out unscathed?
No, it was fine. Yeah,
Nice.
It didn't get a scratch on it, and so that's good. My guitar's my baby, so I need that.
Like, I'm falling and the guitar is not going to get hurt.
That's right.
Nice.
The heels, the guitar, not so much.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you the most important question of the interview.
All right.
So, between you and the other guys in the band, who spends the most time in front of a mirror before you go live on stage?
That's a good question. I would say probably Johnny Keys, John McMahon. I reckon if I tallied up all the time between everyone's go in the bathroom, it might be him. And I don't know why. I mean, he's got the dreadlocks, and he's got a pretty face, so there's a lot to maintain. But no, it's good. Everyone kind of I mean, we are boys. We like roughing it, so it doesn't actually take up that much time, I guess. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Very cool. We'll go with that. Sounds good. All right. Is there anything else that you want to make sure people know about October Rage? Anything I have not asked?
Well, I guess what you need to remember is to bring extra socks to every show because we'll rock them off for you. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. We'll go with that.
Bring extra socks.
No, that's pretty much it, mate. There's not much to us. We like being brutally honest, and what you see is what you get, and hopefully you like what you get.
Nice. Very good. Well, I want to thank you for taking time to call in. Please tell the other members of the band I said hello, and give me a shout out to Royal Bliss. Tell them that I said hello as well.
Absolutely. Shall do, mate. No worries.
Cool. Okay, well, I wish you best of luck on the rest of your tour, and I'll be following and keeping an eye. So, thank you.
Sounds great, mate. Thank you so much, and thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Take care.
Cheers, brother. Bye.
Bye.